Motivation is funny. And it's funny in a way that something mm, like a train of thought would be. Because motivation is something that all of us can have, but almost never when we want it. And almost always at some of the most inconvenient times. At least in my experience. I mean, look at me. I literally am starting this recording in the middle of a different project, but that's a topic for a different... I don't even know if it's for a different video. But either which way, motivation comes and goes, and a lot of the times it's not when we want it to. Sometimes it feels like we never get motivated, and sometimes we really wish we weren't as motivated as we were. But I think motivation's pretty cool, because it enables us to do things that, well, no, I guess that's not really a way to put it. I guess instead, motivation more like it sort of gives us the ability to persevere, even if something is difficult. And I won't say it gets us all the way through. Maybe it gets us anywhere between like 50 to 90%. Sometimes it does. You get that full 100. But for me, I typically don't get motivated when I want to be. And that's bad for me, for someone who generates ideas as quickly as I do. But the whole point of this Lunar Life is to tell you that motivation comes and goes. It's okay if you don't feel motivated. You don't have to. We're not obligated to feel motivated to achieve all our goals at the quickest convenience. It's just when you're motivated, you're motivated. And if you want to do something with it, go ahead. Life is one of those things where you sort of forget how free it is. And I'm not talking about, oh, I have this rights or I have these rights. You literally have the power to make any decision you want. The world doesn't have rules, it's just that man has law. And I'm not telling you to break the law, goodness no. But there are a lot of options that you have even if you don't feel like you have any. And sometimes you just need the right motivation to even see a different perspective. And I don't know. This Lunar Life is a lot more random, spur of the moment. I mean, like I said, literally thought of it in the middle of doing something else. Because I finally figured that, well, this is a pretty good topic for a Lunar Life. I might as well do something with it. I had the the right motivation. And that's why it's funny, because it's almost never convenient to be motivated. But it's always convenient to use motivation to get what we want. I'm not sure that makes too much sense. It makes sense to me, but when do I ever abide by logic? Oh boy. But yeah, motivation is... Because I don't know. I don't know because I've only been motivated as myself. I don't know what it's like for other people in their relationship to motivation. All I know is that when people are highly motivated, they can do a lot of really cool, a lot of incredible, really great things. And I don't know. To some extent, that sort of feels like a superpower, doesn't it? I mean, you're literally being enabled to do something that you otherwise wouldn't, or sometimes even couldn't do. Like, like, actually, that reminds me, the different kinds of motivation. The most common one, at least that I see, funnily enough, is spite. Spite is a heck of a motivator for people. I'm not sure why it is. For me, I can't do things out of spite because usually it'll last like 2 seconds and then I'm just like, what am I doing? I could be doing something else. Which, I'm not discrediting anyone who does anything out of spite. I actually have massive respect for you guys. Because, again, a lot of people who are motivated by spite, they take it all the way. But no, there are a whole bunch of motivators. Love, anger, determination, spirit, dreams. I'm powered by dreams, but... Motivation is something that sort of changes from person to person, so you can't really expect to know every kind of motivation or how it affects different people. Like I said, I think motivation, at least my motivations, are pretty inconvenient because they usually come when I'm able, or pardon me, when I'm not able to do something. Like, I tell you guys about all of the dreams and aspirations that I have for making content and all that, but I can't do any of that, almost any of it. I can do some of it, like if I really, really try, but then I sort of lose the opportunity to do other things, and it's all just really inconvenient. I get so much motivation, and then I am never able to do anything with it. And then when I'm able to do something, or worse, when I have the time to do something, that's probably when I'm least motivated. And I don't know what does it. For me, I think it's a combination of fear and anxiety. I'm so scared that it's not going to be the quality that I want it to be, or it's not going to resonate with people the way that I had hoped. But sometimes, like now, actually, I don't think I've told you, right now it's 4 a.m. for me. Sometimes you just gotta grab motivation when you see it, even if it seems inconvenient. Recently, I've sort of accepted the fact that my sleep schedule is not going to be normal. It's going to be somewhat nocturnal. I've been awake since 12 a.m. And yes, that means I woke up at 12. And so I've just accepted that, well, this is the time where I'm awake and I feel motivated, because for whatever reason that AM motivation hits me. I'm a morning person, I guess. It makes sense. But I've just sort of accepted that this is when I feel motivated. So this is when I'm going to get work done now. This is my new work hours. And luckily this is going on the ASMR channel, because I feel like if I was any louder, I'd probably be getting noise complaints. Even now I'm speaking pretty loudly, but that is to say, motivation is really funny because it comes and goes, not always at the most convenient of times, and sometimes it hits us way harder than we might even imagine or think. I don't know. I kind of wanted, I kind of wanted to make this sort of an inspirational sort of thing. I try to make every Lunar Life at least moderately inspirational, at the very least give advice to people. But honestly, there's nothing I can really give for motivation. Like I said, it sort of just goes in and out of our lives as it pleases. We don't really have control over it. Not as much as we think, anyway. There are some people who have control over their motivation. Like, one thing I will never forget, and one thing that still moderately inspires me to this day, I can't say I follow his example, but I will never forget Kobe Bryant explaining his daily routine to me, because, or not to me, but you know what I mean, explaining his daily routine, because I honestly don't think I've ever seen or heard of a man that has more motivation and determination than that guy. Literally, from the moment he wakes up to the second he goes to bed, he has his whole day planned out, and he does something, what's it called? He does something productive with almost every hour of his day. And I admire that level of dedication and motivation, especially when it's to something you really love. I wish I can be as motivated to stream sometimes, but another thing I've learned to accept recently is that you can't really force yourself to like things, because guess what? At that moment, at the very least, you don't like it. Or at the very least, you don't have the motivation to do it. And I feel really bad for saying that, because I'm a streamer. And so saying that there are just some times where I don't like to stream sort of feels, I don't know, it feels disrespectful to the people who take the time out of their day to watch me. And I don't want to disrespect anybody, but at the same time, if I don't have it that day, I don't have it. That's a bitter pill for me to swallow, but it's one that I have to take. And so I guess one thing that I will say, that I will hope that you take away from this, is that things just sort of happen, including motivation. And so don't feel too bad about yourself if you don't feel motivated to do anything, or even the things that you want to do. Right? Sometimes we just don't have it in us at that moment. We'll try again later. Time may be a limited resource that we have, but we still have an abundant amount of it, even if it feels like we don't. 24 full hours in a day, after all. Who's to say we can't spend all 24 awake? Would I recommend it? No. But, like I said about free will, we can literally make any decision we want to, including when we act on our motivation. So don't feel too bad about yourself if you don't feel motivated or inspired to do anything. Maybe it's just not hitting you right now. And who knows? Maybe at some point in the future, near or far, that one really big spike of motivation will hit you. And then look at you. You'll be unstoppable.